What is up, YouTube world? Right. So stupid when I do it in front of the camera. Anyways, I'm gonna do a water change on the saltwater tank. Plus, I got some cool things that we're gonna add to it. Even regular carbon. Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna do a water change. So I don't have too much power on the phone, so we're just gonna do some quick. But basically, just wanted to show you guys a water change on the saltwater tank. Alright. Alrighty. So it's looking pretty good in there, but a couple things are going on, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody's nice and healthy, and we haven't done a water change in a pretty long time. So we're gonna do a water change because the carbon, what's in there, what's been in there running since I put it in there, it's probably been in there so long it's starting to leach back into the water. I hear regular carbon will do this, but there's an idea that some people say it does this and some people say it doesn't do this. A lot of people say for salt water it really does do that, so I'm like, dang it. And if I really look really close, there's some corals acting up, like this guy. What's going on with you, buddy? So I'm like, maybe, but he's doing great, all nice and bay. So maybe there is something going on that the coral, the carbon is not actually removing anything anymore, and it's like releasing back into the water. So we're gonna make all that really nice and fresh. And yeah, so I'm just gonna show you a little bit there and there how I get the carbon out and put new carbon in, and talk about the cool stuff I got behind me, what I showed a minute ago. Right. Before I start working on this, if I do a water change, I get the salt water ready because it does take a few minutes for that salt to dissolve and everything. So when I fill up a 5-gallon bucket, I like to use the orange ones because they're a little bit taller, and when you get it right up to this rim right here, that's a good 5 solid, really solid gallons, you know what I'm saying? And then I like to put exactly 2.5 cups in there, which gives me a salinity of about 0.025, right in that area. So my salinity is at 0.025-ish. Alright. But yeah, give them a good stir on each one, and then before we actually add it to the aquarium, we're going to stir them one more time, real quick. Alright, excuse the mess, guys. I know there's wires and bottles everywhere. This is what I actually used in the past week for evaporated water replacement, because it's nice and clean water, you know what I'm saying? Alright, excuse the mess, excuse the mess. Anyways, you gotta get in here, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, my phone actually died, guys, and I plugged it in, and this is as far as I can reach. And I was like talking earlier, and I was actually doing stuff, but the phone died. I'm like, I didn't even realize. But anyways, so let's just talk about what I did real quick. I removed this, you know, got the fiberglass and removed that fiberglass, you know, holder thing, and got that out. And I got my hand all the way in there because this is where all the chemicals are. And I pulled the chemicals out and put the chemicals, carbon in here, you know. So, and then I talked about the carbon real quick. Carbon in a saltwater tank, there's a lot of opinions about it, but a lot of people I've been talking to, and they've been in the reef hobby for a long time, says carbon in a saltwater tank for long use will start leaching whatever it is absorbed back into the aquarium. So people say, you know, you shouldn't leave regular carbon in a saltwater tank that long. There's some people who say you should only leave it in there for like 8 hours because it loses its power after 8 hours, and you can just remove it depending on how much you use. So I would, you know, really think about that. Maybe do some tests on your own. Saltwater aquariums, you know, it might look great, but when you do a water change, your water might be a little yellow-ish, maybe a little tea-like-ish, and that's how you know your carbon is not working anymore, when you have discoloration within your water. So maybe give it a try, you know, put some brand new carbon in there, take a little bit of water out. You would have to use a white bucket with about, you know, good depth to it so you can actually see the discoloration. And if it does fill all the way up and it has a hay blue to it, then your water's great. If it fills all the way up to it and it has a slight yellow to it, then you know your carbon is not working because it's not removing this coloration anymore. So maybe it's a test to really do. This carbon has been in there for a minute. I'm going to do a water change today. I have to do the water change today even when the phone died, and this is what I'm working with. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it and record it. And yeah. So what people like to use in a saltwater tank instead of regular carbon is ChemiPure, because supposedly it holds it and it doesn't relieve it back, and it does a really great job. It also says back here it reduces algae and it gets rid of organics and toxins and metals and odors and color causing, all types of stuff. It is carbon, but it's also a little bit more than just carbon. It has exchanged resins in it, and it's just really cool stuff. And you can use it in a fresh, you can use it in salt, and yes, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and put new carbon, or the ChemiPure, in there where the carbon was. And we also got this. This is just a really good controlling of organic waste, because there is a morel eel in there that likes to eat a lot. So this will just help with the extra waste, and this will absorb it much quicker. This is like really good stuff right here, and it's actually reusable. So as it comes out the bottle, it should be nice and white. It's probably brand new, so it's probably closed. Oh, there it is. So as you can see, it's nice and white. It will turn slightest brown, so it will discolorate, and that's when you know it is not, like, it can't hold anymore. So when it starts to turn brown, it's not white anymore but brown, is when you can actually recharge it. And you do that with a 1:1 bleach ratio, and after you let that sit for about 24 hours in a 1:1 bleach ratio, then you rinse it again with some water conditioner and some fresh water, and then it should be ready to go. I haven't technically actually did a renewing myself. As you can see, this is a brand new container, because a 1:1 bleach ratio is just a very high concentrate ratio, and I'm not so confident on that part yet. So I just bought a new one. It's only 10 bucks, and this actually does up to like 100 gallons for a small one like this, or it says 250 US gallons, so this is plenty, and it's only 10 bucks, and it lasts forever. It really does. I actually put the other one, what came out of this, which still had a lot of life to it, in the freshwater tank. Cool. So let's go ahead and start removing some water. So I'm just going to do the general. I'm going to remove some water, put it in here, remove some more water, put it in here, and then I got 15 gallons removed. I'm going to put 15 gallons of fresh salt back in, and then I'm going to install the carbon, ChemiPure, and that, and this ChemiPure, and then right on the last step I'm going to put carbon on top, but I will only leave that in for about 2 days and then remove it, and then I will not touch it again for another 3, 4, 5 months. That's right, I don't want to touch it ever again. No more water changes. But yep, one big reason is the refugium, the Kato. Excellent job, no nitrate problems ever, and keeping up this carbon, because coals, there are other coals in there. There's like a coal way back there. I'm sorry I can't reach the tank because it's on a cord here, and you know, some coals, you know, trying to defend themselves, they do relieve, you know, some type of stuff into the water, and all types of stuff can discolor the water. So you definitely need awesome filtration for your fish, and then you need ChemiPure, to make sure all the chemicals and bad stuff and toxins are out of the water, to keep that water nice and blue. Alright, so I'm going to do a water change, and I probably talked way too long like I always do. But I'm going to do the water change now, and when that is done, I'll show you how I put this stuff in. This is already, the ChemiPure is already in a bag, so that's already ready to go. This, you have to use a 150 mesh bag, so I got one of those in the back room. I'm going to put that in. So basically ChemiPure is going to go in last ish. So basically this is going to go in first. This is going to go in second, and this regular carbon is going on top of everything so I can remove it the easiest. Alright. Alrighty, I wanted to show you real quick.